Hello.
Hi. Welcome back, everyone. This is Laura and Allison just kind of sit around and we talk about adoption. I am an adoptee and an adoptive parent. And Laura, you can say hi.
Yes, hello. I am an adoptive parent of two girls. And, I don't know if on my last introduction, if I really specified, I have my oldest is 11 and she came from infant adoption. She has an open adoption with her birth mother side. And then our youngest is 6 and she came through a adoption through foster care.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And we are both children's book authors. So we've got a lot in common. Plus we've known each other now 25 years. So all those things. So Laura, I wanted to ask you today, I want to take this time to ask you about we get asked from different hopeful or prospective adoptive parents. So this is folks that are either inquiring about adoption or have, fully filled out all the paperwork, have an approved home study, they're active with an agency. So for any of those individuals at any different stage of that, what advice do you have for them?
I feel like people are constantly, I don't know about you, but constantly connecting me with other families that are looking into adoption and they're at any of those stages that you described. So I think the biggest piece of advice that I give is to just do your homework on the front end. Just do as much research as possible and read books that are recommended by your agency. Kind of go in with a really open mind and be willing to look at parts of yourself that you weren't really comfortable looking at the beginning, and just get to know, like, kind of get all the information before you get started. So we went through an agency with our first adoption, and that was where we got, I think, the best education was just a private adoption agency, because they helped us. You have a lot of decisions to make at the beginning. You're deciding if you're willing to adopt outside of your race, and so we went through a lot of that training, which was very eye-opening for both my husband and myself, on just what our lives would look like if we were to, adopt outside of our race. And then they had like a lot of Q&As with adoptees, with the adoptive parents, with birth parents, and all of that was just, I honestly could not get enough during that time, because it was just all so eye-opening. I didn't really know all that much about adoption before we started that journey, and they required us to do a lot of reading, and so in doing so, I think it just helped us along the way. And then, of course, as you get going, you're never going to want to stop doing all of that, because it's just a part of your life. And I don't know about everybody else, but I want to know how to be the best parent I can to the children that I'm raising. So I would recommend doing that early, because you don't know how quickly things are going to come up. And then I will say that we also were pretty close to adopting with a lawyer, like a private adoption. And there really was zero training in that way, because that's just the method to help finalize that adoption. And so I would encourage people who are going that route. There's nothing wrong with going that route, but just know that there are so many components that you should look into before you just jump in. You really need some education. And then when we went through the foster agency was kind of like our last experiences, there was just completely different training that didn't necessarily have as much to do with adoption as it did with trauma response and that kind of thing, which is also wonderful, but it's just different. So I felt like I wouldn't have gotten some of the adoption forward language that I learned, from the agency. I don't know. I just think you just need to do your research. And so that would be my biggest piece of advice.
I think that's great. And what we'll do is we'll try to gather some of those resources and put them
For sure.
together on our website. Our website is ouradoptionbooks.com. Thank you, Laura. Appreciate it.
Yes, thanks.
Bye.
Bye-bye.